Cinderella, a retold fairy tale by Oakley Graham. Once upon a time, there lived a girl called Cinderella. Every day she cooked and cleaned for her mean stepmother and 2 stepsisters. And at night she slept by the fire's glowing cinders to keep warm. One day, at 9 o'clock in the morning, a letter arrived from the prince, inviting them to a ball at the palace. Cinderella spent all day helping the ugly stepsisters get ready, and at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Cinderella asked what she might wear. "You're not going to the ball," laughed her cruel stepsisters and stepmother as they left without her. Poor Cinderella felt very upset. But just then, to her surprise, a fairy appeared. "I'm your fairy godmother," she said kindly. With a flick of her magic wand, a carriage with 2 horses appeared, and Cinderella's dress became a beautiful ball gown with a pair of glass slippers. "Enjoy the ball," the fairy godmother said as Cinderella left at 6 o'clock. "But be home by midnight or the spell will be broken." The prince's palace looked magical in the moonlight, and Cinderella was very excited. No one recognized her, and everyone agreed that she was the most beautiful young lady at the ball. At 8 o'clock, the prince asked Cinderella to dance. He was enchanted by Cinderella's beauty and danced with her all night. Suddenly, the clock struck 12. Cinderella remembered what the fairy godmother had said. Without a word, Cinderella fled, leaving one of her glass slippers behind. The prince called out to his butler, "Search the kingdom for the girl whose foot fits this slipper. She is the girl I want to be my bride." Weeks passed. The prince's butler searched the whole kingdom until only Cinderella and her ugly stepsisters were left. The butler arrived at Cinderella's house at 4 o'clock. "Me first," demanded the first ugly stepsister. She squeezed and pushed her foot into the glass slipper, but her foot was too big. Then, at 4:15, Cinderella's second ugly stepsister tried the slipper on. She snatched the glass slipper out of the butler's hands, and she squeezed and pushed and squashed her foot into it as best as she could. But her foot was too big, and the glass slipper didn't fit her either. "No luck here," exclaimed the prince's butler, as he placed the slipper back into its box. "It's 4:30, he sighed, "and it's time for me to return to the palace." "Wait," cried Cinderella's father. "I have a daughter too. She must try on the glass slipper too." The stepmother and the ugly stepsisters looked at him in disbelief. "Her? Cinderella? She didn't go to the ball," shrieked the stepmother and ugly stepsisters. Thought the butler, looking at Cinderella. "She looks familiar." And with that, at 4:45, Cinderella sat down and carefully slipped her foot into the glass slipper. And it fitted perfectly. Cinderella travelled nervously back to the palace, but she didn't need to worry. As the carriage arrived at 6 o'clock, the prince recognised her as the beautiful girl he had danced with. "Will you marry me?" the prince asked Cinderella. "Yes," said Cinderella, and they both lived happily ever after. The end.